my name is Jimmy Yang, and I work in an advertising agency as the business affairs manager here. And my agency is located in Shanghai, China. So we're working for a major global brand and representing their market in China and all the advertising work here in this market.
Awesome. Amazing. What was it that first brought you to me? What challenges were you facing?
I think it's just when we started, I was actually emotionally distressed
Mm.
and find myself usually in this situation when I work, I get so emotional and sometimes really, I would say, angry,
Mm.
facing all the challenges every day, and especially not dealing very well the relationships with my colleagues. And sometimes I actually lost myself during a conversation. And I think that was another reason for that is we've been working at home remotely for I think almost half a year or even close to a year due to the lockdown in China. And that's where we don't really have like, face-to-face human relationship. And that's where I felt even more distressed, like always taking very detailed things or even just words to be, triggers for my emotional distress. So
Mm.
that's how I was recommended to you, um, hoping that because you actually have that concept of working enjoy the working. So that is something I was really hoping to find myself and find this working environment experience for me. I want to find the joy and to enjoy that kind of everyday life in work. So that's how I actually began this journey with you.
Yeah, it was, I mean, because it was such a, I mean, you're already, all of everyone in Shanghai and China was in a really difficult, obviously, working from home. But yes, it was very much, you were very frustrated and just not enjoying it, right? It just wasn't, someone who really
Yeah,
cares about their work, you just weren't enjoying it like you could.
yeah. I actually remember feeling every day because, when you're at home and every day you wake up, you see your laptop and you think, okay, it's time to work. It's time to experience this now. And you're feeling almost already like a bit stressed at the
Yeah.
beginning of the day. And then when you feel very tired, there is this bed right behind you and you just want to have a crash. So it's every day has been, repeating this experience that I think even, added to this kind of almost painful experience.
Mm. What in our work together started to shift things for you? What was it that was so powerful, so helpful for you?
I think in the very beginning, though, because I think in our first few sessions, you told me to just accept and embrace what you're feeling every day. And I think that is actually something I've been hiding from at the very beginning because I was hating myself for feeling painful. And I don't like myself for disliking my work every day because I don't think that's what I'm supposed to do. So I didn't really realize that I should actually accept it and embrace it because there is always me being wrapped in this kind of emotion. And there are things that I am needing. There are emotional needs. There are things I want to recognize and be recognized. So there are things underneath that is I have not been embracing my own needs and I have not been fully embracing myself. So there is always this kind of conflict within myself that was something I have not really discovered. So I think the most powerful thing in the very beginning is like I was told to accept myself. I was told to really embrace what I've been feeling and have compassion towards myself. That is something I could say I've been trying to avoid, but then I was reminded of the importance of it and beginning to just feel it within me and feel that needs. And sometimes just to not to be so harsh on myself on how I'm feeling and to accept like this is what happened and everything happens for a reason. And all you have to do is just feel it and then try to find a solution for it rather than just, get drowned in this kind of self conflict every day. That's really, really powerful to me.
Yeah, I remember it well. And then if I remember correctly, we kind of shifted once we kind of got through that or allowed and focused on how you were treating and interacting with yourself. We then started to work on how you actually saw what your job was, particularly because your leadership position, your seniority. Tell me a bit about what shifted as we moved into that. I guess we could frame our work in kind of two halves. The first was very internal in your relationship with yourself, and the second was actually really about how you saw your job and what your role was. Talk to me a bit about that.
Yeah, I think when we actually got to the working part, it was later in our sessions. And then it's about how to really see this job and how to find what it is to me. Because previously, I think one of the stress that I was always having is that I'm seeing every day as different tasks. It's like to-do list to be ticked every day and trying to set tasks for me that there are things I have to finish within this day. And if I don't, there will be this kind of, self-blame and consequences that actually doesn't really happen. So I think I was I was reminded to shift my goal in work into making it something that's more passionate for myself, making it something that I'm more interested in, like solving puzzles and finding solutions, or even putting my own creative thoughts into it, which I was reminded actually I had this passion for, and I was reminded that I actually could put something that I'm really interested in everyday's work rather than just seeing it as something to avoid. And I think that actually really helped because I could feel like this change in the past few weeks where I've been more calm when I'm facing all those, sudden questions. And I was able to, yeah, just calm myself down and try to find solutions for it rather than just, yeah, sitting there and asking why it has happened. So yeah, I think this has really helped, to see what it is as the core value to the work and what it is that can actually drive me, you know, interested and drive me actually um, passionate about every day into this work. And also the other part I think we recently mentioned is how I can lead my team into a actually desired or ideal future. I think this is also helps a lot because um, I've had this team actually member changes during the past half a year. It's exactly during our sessions. So I've been having different emotions and different feelings towards my team members, and I think that's how I actually felt the change that there is no, I mean, how do I say it's not about setting a target or like hitting something as a career itself. It's about how you're treating the team members, how you are communicating with them, and how you are feeling about them. And I think that does have a response. Like when I was having more face to face and more emotional communications with them, I can actually feel like they feel the efforts that I've been making, and they are feeling this team is something hopeful, and they are feeling positive about this. So that's actually helping me to change my views towards leading a team as well, because now I get to feel the power of compassion, the power of love, of leadership. So I don't have to, too much worried about what kind of goal I have to hit as a leader, but it's more about how we work together to find something that is suitable for each and every one, to find a way that we can work together to be better in the future. And yes, I think that is also the way that, you know, just along this way, I'll get to find clearer and clearer directions on how we can lead this team into the future. Yeah.
I got some goosebumps when you started towards the end of that sentence. Yeah, that's so amazing. It was it was really wonderful. I mean, watching you reconnect to what you love in your work, which when we started was really quite distant. Like, and there's a number of reasons
Yeah.
for that, but reconnecting you to that and allowing, yeah, how much joy you experienced in leadership as well, and just embracing that, and obviously the circumstances changing so that you could put it into practice into person was also a wonderful merging together. What have the results been? Like, what have the results of this work been?
Well, I think at least from how I feel, it's already far better than previously. At least like even during because we still have 2 days working at home. At least I don't feel like that pressure is coming back again, and I
Awesome.
can wake up, enjoy like okay, it's Monday and it's work time. And when I go back to the office, I think I do have a better way of communication with people. But yeah, sometimes I still kind of lost my emotions once in a while. I think that still happens to probably for everyone.
Yeah.
But I feel like I am better in controlling myself and actually realizing what is more important at that moment and try to just be solution oriented and try to be having this kind of emotional connection with people so that we can work together to solve any solutions and find solutions to all these issues. And yeah, and also about my team, I definitely feel like we have a better connection than previously, and I am more considerate about how they are feeling and how we can create a better bonding between the teams to make them feel positive. And I believe this is all the changes that I've been experiencing all through the sessions. So it's been great. It's been actually better than I've ever thought I could be. And I also feel like, yeah, I never really thought I would be enjoying the work. I would be feeling such happiness. Again, if well, actually, I may have felt it when I started like many years ago, but that has been worn out, I guess, during recent years. But I'm finding that back again, and I feel actually happier than before.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Jimmy. I mean, it's been such a pleasure, and you've been incredible to work with. And I can't wait for us to get back into our sessions when we can.
Yeah, definitely. It's the same to me. Like I just like I when I reported to our HR about the sessions, I was feel like every time I talk to you, every time I had the session with you, I feel so much inspired. And like previously, I've been having some other consultations, not this kind, but I was always feeling, you know, a bit concerned that at the beginning of the session or before we begin each session, I was concerned like I don't know what to talk about. And I was nervous about getting into consultations previously, but I actually never felt similar thoughts when we had our consultations, our sessions. And every time I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, it's been really, really a pleasure for me as well to have these sessions with you. And thank you so much for putting your efforts into it and helping me along the way. Definitely.
Oh, absolute pleasure, Jimmy. What would you say to someone considering coaching with me?
Oh, it's definitely recommended at the top of my recommendations. And I think I'm not really sure if other people will have similar concerns or like worries about consultations because I think, especially for Chinese culture, though, speaking to someone about problems is not really a positive thing.
Hmm.
But I definitely recommend this session with you because I think right from the very beginning, at the first session, you will feel like something is different. You will feel like it's full of positive vibes, and you will know that this is someone that can definitely help you to change towards a good direction. So definitely, yeah, I would definitely recommend that to anyone.
Amazing, Jimmy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sam. It's been really, really happy to have this session. And I really can't wait to come back again.